it's -1 degrees outside, so I feel like I should spend the day cleaning up my desk and making it look less messy and cleaning up everything. So the first thing I want to talk about is what I was saying last night about Christianity, because I talked about this notion that God is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, but the part that I left out when I was talking about Christianity specifically is that God is perfect goodness, like he or she's being is goodness, and if God is perfect goodness and God is omnipotent and omniscient, then wouldn't God protect that little child in Yemen in the picture that got killed in an airstrike from the Saudis? I mean, I don't know if it was the Saudis that killed her, but it's very likely. And wouldn't God protect a child that has never sinned? Because according to Dostoevsky, people that have sinned deserve to be punished, and therefore they deserve to be tortured, which I don't agree with. But children don't deserve to be tortured, and that's the real question, is would an omnipotent God that's omniscient not protect a small child from being a child soldier? There's also the theory in some Christian circles that we're born into sin, so we're automatically sinful, and therefore we all deserve it, but I think that's stupid. All right, so no more religion stuff, on to the Space Force. If y'all didn't know, Spaceforce is in Colorado Springs. My neighbor who's Spaceforce just decided to sell their house after my letter went out to all these people. And he wasn't the only person that decided to sell their house after I sent out my letter. I feel like there's some people that are nervous. In fact, I had a dream about my other neighbor who didn't decide to sell his house. He has children, putting a for sale sign in his yard, and his grandfather or his father-in-law, I think that's who it is, didn't decide to sell his house either, but that's who I had a dream about. What I'm trying to talk about is the Space Force, not about people selling their houses. So people are talking about, or the news keeps talking about how the Space Force is potentially moving to Alabama from Colorado, even though Colorado has major military installations that Alabama does not have. And the real question I would ask myself if I was a government person is, does anybody really want to live in Alabama? Because could you recruit me to live in Alabama? Probably not. Could you recruit Elon Musk to live in Alabama? Very unlikely. So if you want the top talent, do you want to move your Space Force to, like, the thing is, Mobile is actually pretty nice, but I'm pretty sure that Space Force needs to be inland. And if you want a defensible position, like for your missiles to be shooting from, don't you want it to be further inland? I mean, I'm just saying, you don't want it to be on the coast, that's for sure. So I'm just saying, from a military strategy perspective, you want the Space Force in Colorado or in Utah or something like that. From a recruiting people perspective, you want the Space Force in Colorado, because a lot of people don't want to live in Utah because there are so many Mormons. I personally wouldn't mind it. I'm used to being around religious nuts. I am just nice to them. All right, so final thing I'll talk about this morning, because I want to keep this talk to a minimum. Local news. I got mad at the local news because I had contacted Mary Matthews, who's a news anchor. She's not even the person in charge, and I realized that. And I contacted a bunch of people about the jail not having protection for people that have from COVID-19. Because I was there and I was like, this is crazy. It's like they're trying to spread it. And then next thing you know, like 75% of the people at the jail got COVID-19. It was a massive super spreader situation. And so I got mad. And the reality is, I think that what happened is the local news wanted to protect their city, so they didn't want to report on the stuff I was saying. And also, I'm guessing the police were lying to him, be like, "Oh, this guy's crazy. There's no drug lab here. There's no connection to drugs at all in Colorado. We don't even have any drugs. Yeah, it's because we don't sell drugs in Colorado. Like, we try to ship them out of the country." But what I'm trying to say is, I'm not mad at the local news. I realize that Mary Matthews' job is being a news anchor, and she's not the main person, and Alex's job is the same. And so it's definitely not her fault. And is it her producer's fault? Probably. I mean, the reality is, I think that they should have done something, but It's kind of difficult to report on me, right? It's very difficult. So I wanted to announce now the people that I have figured out are going to be nominated for Venoxammys, because the Venoxammys are so exciting. Everyone's very excited about it. I'm not talking about musicians. I'm talking about movies. First movie, The Sleepover, a kids movie that is actually wonderful. I loved it so much. It was like my favorite movie that I've seen for a long time. I don't watch that many movies, so I don't feel like the movies department is going to be very good. Endgame, Avengers. The Infinity War one I didn't like at all. Endgame I actually liked, but I didn't like it that much because I don't like the Avengers that much. So I guess I'm biased. The Wrong Missy, that one's the shit. That's gonna be nominated. At least these are probably gonna be nominated in different categories like comedy and stuff like that. Enola Holmes, it was kind of nominated by default because I haven't seen very many movies, but it was pretty good. Extraction, I can't even remember what that is. Oh, yeah, that was with the very sexy guy, the Thor guy, the sexiest man alive at one point. He won the sexiest man alive. I'm talking about, what's his name? The hot one. Miley's ex-husband's brother, Hemsworth. Yeah, that guy. He's in it, and he's protecting some Indian kid. The Saint. Yeah. I watched that this year, so it got nominated. I feel like it got nominated last year, and if so, it's going to not be nominated again. Charlie Says is about Charles Manson, and what it did is it made me want to join a psychotic murderous cult because like you're like, oh, I want to be part of this cult because I don't know, because I'm kind of a hippie. Get Hard. I don't know if I watched that this year, but I like that movie. Aquaman. This is a really weak list because I've done really bad on watching movies this year, but I only wanted to list the ones that I liked. Soul, the cartoon or the animated film, that one's fantastic. Mulan, I watched it. It was fantastic. I enjoyed it. And then the newest Star Wars, I can't remember what it's called, but you guys can look it up, and it's not very hard to figure out what that one's called. All right, so on to the TV shows. This is where the real competition happens. Number one, Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty has won a Venoxamy in the past for Best Comedy. It this season is nominated also. Ozark is nominated. Fate, the Winx Saga is nominated. It's a witchy show. It's got fairies. Cobra Kai is nominated. Lost in Space is nominated. Lethal Weapon, the TV show, is nominated. The Orville is nominated. The Queen's Gambit is nominated. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is nominated. Queen of the South is nominated. Raising Dion is nominated. It's a sci-fi show. The Wu Assassins is nominated. Tiger King, definitely nominated. The Last Kingdom, it's a Viking show. I've been watching it forever. I'm pretty sure it's been nominated in the past. It's nominated. The Mandalorian is nominated. On My Block, it's about, it's supposed to be a comedy, but it's not really a comedy. It's about growing up, I think in South Central Los Angeles. And for me, because I actually understand the wars that go on in Los Angeles, it's about being on the losing side of the gang wars in Los Angeles because Mexican gangs get their ass kicked in Los Angeles, and black gangs are the winners. It's just how it is. Mexican gangs are not organized like black gangs. Should I have said that? I don't know. All I'm saying is Mexican gangs don't win in Los Angeles. They lose. American Horror Story is nominated. It's been nominated in the past. Unorthodox, about a girl who leaves Orthodox Judaism, is nominated. Manhunt, that one's the shit. That's about the Olympics, the Olympic bomber. That one's freaking awesome. The 100 is nominated. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is always nominated because it's freaking awesome. This season probably wasn't as good as previous seasons. Blind Spot is nominated. Yeah, I don't know if it was nominated before. Future Man is nominated. And this is going to be a controversial pick, but Agent X. It's about the vice president has a secret thing that she does. Is she's in control of an agent, a special agent who's super powerful, and it's still nominated. It's decent. I enjoyed it enough. And then I'm behind on The Walking Dead, so they're not nominated. Final thing I'll say is here are some previous winners of Venoxammys. Homeland is freaking awesome. If you haven't seen it, it's freaking incredible. I'd watch it. The Last Airbender won before. The Magicians won. Rick and Morty won. Turn Washington Spies won a Venoxamy, and then Crazy Rich Asians won a Venoxamy. I have talked for too long already, but those are the ones that are nominated right now. I'm watching The Boys right now on Amazon. I joined Amazon now that Jeff Bezos retired. I thought Jeff Bezos wanted to retire before, and I feel like it was a great time for him to retire. The new guy that's in charge of Amazon is probably like one of the smartest people in the world. That's why they picked him. Yeah, so I'm gonna be watching a lot of Amazon shows to catch up. I'm not very good at watching certain things because I'm a solo man. So I really didn't watch TV at all until like 2 months ago. So I'm kind of behind, but that's the situation there. Get excited about the Venoxammys. They're coming.